It's still loading, one sec.
It's okay.
Okay, we're live.
All right. Good evening, everyone. My name is Mary Alexandra Molina, Chair of the Diversity, Equity, Inclusion, and Belonging Committee. I would like to call the DEIB meeting for February 24th, 2026 to order at 6:04 p.m. This meeting is being conducted remotely in accordance with the provisions of the open meeting law. It will be streamed live and recorded. Because we are remote, all votes taken this evening will be by roll call. Before we begin, I will confirm the presence of the DEIB members participating remotely. As I call your name, please state your name and confirm that you can hear and be heard. All right. Jim Kane.
Hi, Jim Kane. I can hear and be heard. Thank you.
Deidre Writing.
I'm Deidre Writing. I hope you can hear me. I can hear you.
Virginia Sims.
Good afternoon. I can hear you and I can be heard.
Diane Wackel.
I can hear you and I think I can be heard. Thank you.
Angie, can you confirm that you can hear us as well?
Yep, I can hear you, and I think you guys can hear me.
All right, great. Thank you very much. All right. So, if we look at our agenda, can I get a motion to approve the minutes of,
I have the
Yes.
motions here. Let's see. I can share my screen if it helps. Can you see that?
Can we make it a tad bit bigger, please?
Yes. So we've got two sets of minutes. You can, approve them as presented, or if we have any amendments, you can approve them as amended.
I'll move the committee vote to accept the meeting minutes. If anybody doesn't have any amendments, I'm happy to do them both in one motion. As presented.
I don't have any amendments.
Second.
Virginia
you
seconded the
okay.
motion.
Okay. All right. So,
The minutes of November 25th and January 27th
Yep.
have been, well, let me do a roll call. I'm sorry. Diane Wackel,
Yes.
Jim Kane,
Yes.
Virginia Sims,
Yes.
Deidre Writing,
Yes.
and Mary Alexandra Molina, yes. So that is unanimous for the approval of the November and January 27 minutes.
Thank you, Angie. You did
Thank
great.
you. Thank you.
So the second item on our agenda is the Assabet Playground Accessibility Review. The discussion with Public Works Director Scott
Charpentier. So he got caught in Tennessee in the storm, so he's not back yet. But he did reach out to was it the engineer that had worked on the
He reached
playground?
out to a consultant to do a review to confirm that it is, in fact, ADA compliant, and they're in the process of finalizing that report so we can have him in at the next meeting. And
Okay.
we'll have a formal report ready.
All right, great. Moving on to the next agenda, to the next item on our agenda, the ADA accommodation statement review and possible vote.
So, let's see. I was going to share my screen. Okay. So, this is the one I had emailed. I don't know if everyone had a chance to look at it. So we don't have a full committee tonight, so I don't know if it's something you guys do want to vote on, or we just discuss it and see if anybody's got any suggestions or tweaks to it. So this would be the one that would be on our agendas, note, like it says here, notices, flyers, the little blurbs on our website pages, things like that. So just something little. Then we can always, if it's on the website too, we can always link it to like a ADA accommodations page that hopefully we can set up.
So
That would
this is going to be for all boards and committee agendas, right? Like
correct.
a
Yep.
standard. Yep. Okay.
Yep. So I took into consideration what a lot of other towns had, and I know Cynthia had mentioned, some of the other statements can be kind of harsh, and so we wanted to, I was trying to make it more welcoming. So it's kind of went that route where it says in advance whenever possible. A lot of the other ones are like, he has to be in 2 weeks, you have to submit it by noon. So Cynthia was hoping we wouldn't have it that many restrictions on it.
Right. I mean, I like it. So when they contact our office, what are we prepared to provide
Yeah,
accommodation?
so hopefully, and the only thing I was thinking is the town of Northborough welcomes individuals requiring, I could put reasonable accommodations, but even that word, I know Cindy was a little leery about.
I
But
get that.
so if they,
That's
yeah,
reasonable. I mean,
so
yeah,
they would call us and say, I'll be at town meeting and I just want to make sure that there's wheelchair accessible seating, and
Mhm.
if I don't know that, I would of course get back to them, confirm with the high school that there is, we could reserve it, or whatever needs to happen. Just take those steps. If it's something
Yeah.
more, facilities related, where maybe a ramp has to be put in, then we kind of go that route and just keep them updated of what's possible and when, and that kind of thing. Just kind of take it
Okay.
one call at a time.
Yeah, it's going to be challenging to anticipate any and all accommodations. So I think you're right. I mean, I think it's definitely going to have to be on an individual basis, and we definitely have to do our best to accommodate all of our residents, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I think you did a great job, Angie.
Yeah, I
Thank
like
It,
it.
you.
it's it sounds welcoming in my opinion.
Mhm.
Yeah, good, good. So
Less
we
is
can
more.
wait. Yeah, yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
So we could wait because I know this was something that Cindy really wanted to look at. I don't know if she's had a
Yeah,
chance. So we could wait, and then vote on it next meeting, whatever you guys think.
I'm okay with waiting.
I'm okay as
Okay,
well.
so we can table this until the next meeting, but we
Mhm.
don't need to make any changes. It looks great.
Yeah, I
Okay,
like it. Yep.
excellent. Okay.
Moving on to the next agenda item on our agenda, which is the ADA non-discrimination notice. And that's something that Angie, Deirdre, and myself briefly collaborated on during our time. There were various examples that were brought to the table. Angie actually pulled something together for us. Did you want to share that, Angie?
Yeah, so I actually I did a little more research this afternoon. So I did tweak it a little bit with some language that is required. So I kept that. So the initial paragraph here is required. And then other towns, and based on the state's website, we have like little sections here. I didn't like reasonable modifications to policies and procedures. So we have this little note that I added. Um, and then effective communication I added. And then I'll scroll down real quick and then we'll go back to the beginning.
Okay.
And then I kept, this is some more of like the inviting language that we had talked about at our last meeting, that, we're committed to fostering a diverse and inclusive community, and to ensure that all individuals have meaningful opportunities to participate fully in community activities, local government, employment, and everyday civic life. So this is just a way of taking what's required and just kind of softening it up a little bit,
Mhm.
and and also just introducing, like I said, the town's commitment to inclusion, equity, and accessibility. Then, Northborough is dedicated to collaborating with residents, businesses, and community partners to create a community of choice, one that is healthy, supported, livable, connected, and welcoming to all. The town strives to provide a welcoming environment by encouraging cooperation and respect among all who live, work, visit, or engage in our community. We are committed to a community characterized by values of inclusion and belonging, and actively pursue the goals of including, integrating, engaging, and welcoming all persons regardless of race, color, ancestry, national origin, sex, sexual orientation, gender identity, age, religion, disability, health status, marital or familial status, military or veteran status, or socioeconomic status. I was
Now,
hoping that kind of
Angie,
encompassed a lot.
yeah,
Yeah.
I was going to say, is that the same on, are we keeping that core sentence there? Of, who we're talking about, all persons regarding race, but is that consistent among all of our statements?
So it could be, yeah. So it's not in our little blurb for
Okay.
but this would be like our
But like on our
F.
website with our job postings, like, yeah, if we can try to be,
Yeah, so if
um,
we accept this, then
yep.
moving forward, we would incorporate all this type of language in everything
Yeah.
else that we produce.
Mhm.
In some respect, whether it's condensed a little bit or however we want to tweak it.
Mhm.
Um, but the lot of this paragraph here um came from some previous documents from when the DEIB was originally um
Okay.
created back in 22.
Yep.
So I don't know if Becca had originally written that, but so I stole some of that from their documents.
Mhm.
Um,
I like it.
and then the request for accommodation. Um, so we'd have once we switch it to myself, we'll have that there. And then
Yep.
we still got to decide on what kind of email that we want. Um, we can create one. We can have it say anything. IT can have it say anything. We'll include that. And then we have the grievance procedure, which is, we don't have that finished yet. That's something on our to-do list.
Mhm.
But it's mentioned here in this statement. So this will be essentially the first thing they see when they come to the compliance website or the page on our website. So kind of lead them all in the right direction. We'll add links as needed. Um, and we can repeat the information here, but it has right now we just have it linked to the administration page. But again, once we create a compliance page, we'll have it linked there. So this
Yeah,
is,
that was great. That was my only feedback regarding that document, is to either have a link to the grievance procedure right in that little section or outline it, without an individual having to go on the website and look for it or reach out to the
Mhm.
ADA
oh,
coordinator.
that's a good
Yeah,
idea.
that's a
Yep.
good, yep.
Yeah, we can definitely do that. Yeah.
Mhm.
So you guys, again, this is something with the other statement we can digest a little bit more. I'll send out this updated one to everybody. So next time we meet, if you have any suggestions or different wording or more categories to add, just let me know. Is this kind of close to what you and Deidre had done, Mary Alexandra? Or talk?
Yeah, Deidre did provide several different examples from various institutions. This is similar to the one that I saw in Newton. In Newton, like you said,
Yeah.
it's basically part of their website. You click on it. Theirs is a lot more condensed. It's much shorter, the non-discrimination notice.
Mm-hmm.
But essentially, it's the same thing. It's the notice. It's who the ADA coordinator is, and
Mm-hmm.
it's their grievance procedure link. There's like a link that you would click and it brings you to the document that outlines the grievance procedure.
Yeah. I looked at their page too. Yeah, they had some good
Mhm.
stuff. Yeah, perfect.
Did you want to add anything, Deidre?
No, this looks great. Sorry,
Okay.
let me
So
turn
I'll
on.
email that. All right, perfect. I'll email that to you guys and then we can definitely discuss that in March at our next meeting. Um, okay.
Excellent. I like it.
Right. All right. If there are no other questions or comments, we're going to keep moving along on the agenda. Okay, so the next action or the next item on our agenda is a compliance action plan, timeline and next steps.
So I'm gonna share my screen again. So this I kind of I keep tweaking it. I don't know what the best way to present it is, but this is kind of like an outline or checklist, kind of explaining the whole process. Right here, your purpose and legal authority, and then it kind of goes through. I can reorder it, but I just thought it kind of give us an idea. So essentially, we obviously need an ADA coordinator. Right now, it's Di, and this explains what they do. So we have that. We can check that off. But once we figure out if it's going to be me, so that's kind of still pending, actually. So we'll figure that out. But currently we have one, so it's
Yeah.
Di. And then we have, and this is all, I guess there's Title 1 and Title 2. Title 2 is, um, um, you can see, state and local government services, and then Title 1 is for employment. So I thought we'd focus on Title 2 first, and then we can move into a lot of this. Once we establish this for the local government, we can just transfer it over to the employment documents. We have obviously statements on a lot of them right now, but we can work on tweaking those once we have these all set in stone. So then we have part of the Title II again is a non-discrimination notice, what we just looked at. Oh, I did have some examples here of like Boston had a good one. Boston actually made, instead of having like a link just to like a page, they actually had little sections on a web page dedicated to each section of their notice. So that's something we could look at too. Let's see if this pulls up okay. Hold on a second. Can you guys see that?
Yep.
Yep.
So you can kind of see it's very interactive, and you can choose over here what languages you want to read this in. So they just kind of put it in sections and they make each section very interactive. So I thought that was pretty neat. And then we had Revere had a good one as well. So theirs is more like a one pager, but again with active links. But theirs is a little more condensed. You can kind of see the difference between theirs and Boston's.
Yeah.
So
I kind of like the condensed.
yeah, it is. It feels more
Easy, like easier.
yeah, kind of get the gist of it. So
Yeah.
that's on our checklist, and then you have just some notes about what the non-discrimination notice is, and
Mhm.
you have to make sure it's on the website, posted in municipal buildings. So just some other, once we get this figured out, then we can make sure we handle these items below it. And then something to, coming up we're gonna have to work on is the grievance procedure, which I do have some drafts of. Um, so once we get, these two items checked off, the note for our flyers and agendas, and then the
Yeah.
non-discriminatory notice, discrimination notice. We can move on to like the grievance procedure, and then this reasonable modification procedure, that's pretty much a little blurb that I had showed you in the beginning. So shall
Oh,
maintain a
yeah.
public facing procedure for requesting reasonable modifications. They say modifications, but a lot of other, I got this off of, I believe it was the ADA website. So I don't know
Oh,
if it
interesting.
matters if it says modification or,
Versus accommodation.
yeah, so we can look at that. But so my little blurb pretty much covers this. So your case by, like we said, case by case determination.
Mhm.
We have to provide written decisions for them. Um, Sometimes they are denied, and there's an appeal process too. So that's all stuff we can follow up on.
Would this
Um,
be, so this would be something we would, if it got to that point and we're doing written decisions and our labor council would be able to
right, definitely.
help us?
Yeah.
Okay.
So if we deem something that, it was unreasonable to provide, and
Yep.
then they appealed saying, no, it definitely is. Yeah, definitely we'd be able to go to council and have them
Okay.
take a look at it. And then something else on our checklist, like for upcoming town meeting, making sure that our event spaces, our meeting spaces, the select board meeting room, is there enough room for a wheelchair to get in there and to be part of the public, easily. So
Yep.
it's all stuff on our next things to address once we get these few first items taken care of. And this is just kind of again, I'm not exactly sure how to organize it, but at least we get an idea of kind of what's coming up.
Yeah,
And
this
then
is great.
the digital accessibility obviously is something, hopefully once we have our new website up and running, which I know is still in progress, but
Yeah,
maybe
we
this is
have,
something, maybe this is
go ahead.
something we jump to, after we get these first two items done, this and the grievance. So we can talk about that too. I'll organize it a little bit better so it's not so much information.
I think
And
it's
then
great.
at the end, I have our self-evaluation, which we have completed. I mean, I don't know if that needs to be updated. It's something we can take a look at. And then also our transition plan, we do have completed. That was done in 23. I don't know.
Okay.
I haven't researched those enough to know if those have to be updated every so often. So
Yeah,
that'll be coming up. I kind of just kept that in gray because we have it done,
not a
so it's
priority.
not a
Yeah.
priority. Yeah. Um, and then these are some things I didn't highlight because this will be all bonus stuff at the end here. Um, if we had to do new construction at a park, this is all like, if we can make
Yep.
everything perfect, we can talk to facilities and go around town and kind of move from there.
Yep.
And then third party programs like, contractors, um, services, that we employ for the town, make sure that they're in line with our ADA policies and our inclusion policies. So again, these are just things we can work on once we get all the legal stuff taken care of. And then moving in, and once Title Two, this is my feeling, once Title Two is taken care of, then we start with Title One. And again, I think a lot of the stuff we create with the Title Two stuff, we'll be able just to transfer right into the Title One employment stuff.
Mhm.
And then trainings too, something, that look on the horizon, trainings, for department heads, personnel, even us, board and, commissions, and
Yep.
um, that's something, once we get much further down.
Mm.
And then maybe doing some fundraising and then doing some fun stuff in town, which we can always still incorporate when we're working on this other stuff. But
Mhm.
then record retention. So this is all stuff on the list that we have that
A
we
lot
can
of work
do.
to do.
Yeah, yeah. But again, the idea of just taking bite-size chunks out of it, I
Mhm.
think we'll be able to do it. I think we're in a good path, a good
Yeah,
pattern.
I think you did a great job in giving us some guidance and direction. And then, if, again, we don't have to, well, I don't know, I guess what the committee thinks about, do we focus just on ADA or do we do other things that are important as well? I don't know.
I actually wanted to bring that up
Yeah.
in other business, but this might be a good
Hmm.
time for me
Yeah.
to bring it up. I do feel that the ADA focus is important. But I also feel like there are a lot of other things that we could also focus. I
I
feel like we
agree.
have enough people in the committee where we can create subcommittees.
Hmm.
Um, and perhaps break it down into three various subcommittees. I know that, Jim, there are certain things that you're very passionate
Yes.
about that we just haven't necessarily had the the time to address quite yet. And I do want to make sure that different things are discussed throughout the meeting without leaving anything out. So if we could make space for various different topics, I think
Yep.
that that would be great. I would like to provide a document to everyone a little bit later this month, but I had a thought of breaking up into various subcommittees, which would include access and compliance, civic participation and representation, and community engagement and belonging. As we close out the month of February, we're closing out Black History Month. but that's not something that we ever discussed about or talked about. I feel like it's important that, and these will, there are other months throughout the year where we're celebrating different heritages, and I think that those are important to celebrate in our community. Northborough is definitely becoming more and more diverse community, and I think that it's important for us to make everyone feel welcomed and create that sense of belonging for everyone. So I would love to hear some feedback, what your thoughts are as a committee, whether you think that we should go in a different directions and just focus on one thing at a time as a big group, or what your thoughts are about creating subcommittees.
I'll chime in. I actually did a lot of research since our last meeting, and I apologize to all of you. This meeting totally snuck up on me. I
I think it
have,
All
did
of
for
us.
all of us. It did
I
for all of us.
absolutely did all my work. I have the draft. I took my oldest on a hike to Pisgah, and I said, okay, this is about spending time, but it's also accountability. I'm going to hold you accountable to this. And I said, I need you to hold me accountable to make sure I get my draft to the committee, and you have to give me a specific date. My oldest has already seen it, and I'm committing to all of you that I'll get you my first draft of ideas by the end of this week. I'm probably going to do it tonight because I'm not going to leave it until the end of the week. But Mary, I love the idea. I'm open to anything. I'll throw out my research that I've done and my ideas, and my ask would be for the committee to say, here are a couple of things that we like, here are a couple of things that, we might want to hold off on, but at least there's enough there that the team can kind of say, what's actionable here? And as someone just said, I think if we do a couple little things in a bunch of different categories, all of a sudden we get a lot accomplished together.
Mhm,
Yep,
Yeah, I like that.
mhm.
Yep.
I agree.
Agreed.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree that everybody has something to bring to the table. And so it
So
can,
if you, I'm sorry, Di, I'm so
yeah,
sorry.
no,
Go
go
ahead.
ahead. No, go
So if
ahead.
you guys want to email me and I can put stuff on the agenda, I mean, we can make the agenda as long as we need and just go through if whether it's just quick ideas or just remind us of what we want to talk about. So just feel free to email me before our next meeting and I'll add it to the agenda. And again, this meeting snuck up on me as well. So next meeting, I will hopefully get the agenda out like a week early so you guys can all review it and make any suggestions or edits. But no, I
Yeah.
like the idea of incorporating other things as well. And I think, like Mary Alexandra said, I think there's enough of us that we could accomplish that.
Mhm. Yeah, I agree. That's great. And I wonder, Angie, so I don't know if you're all familiar with like the end of school carnival, the Be Well event that, there's a group of us. It's the library, the senior center, the recreation department, the police, the fire. It's usually held on the last day of school at Ellsworth McAfee Park. And they have an opportunity. I don't know if it must be open to boards and
Yeah,
committees. Like
yeah,
that's
it is.
something where, or through Angie, our office, could get a table, and that's where we kind of try to get the word out. Like, here we are, and this is what we're working
Yeah,
on.
that's a great idea. It's
Um,
such a fun event.
it's,
Is this the fifth year or sixth year? I can't remember.
I think the fourth,
Yeah.
very well
Oh yeah.
attended.
Yeah.
And so usually all the departments have it. The fire trucks are
Mm.
there. The police department's doing something. There's bouncy houses, and it's just a fun event, but a lot of people attend, and it's a good way to kind of say, hey, we're here, Yeah.
Yeah.
Do
I
you
like that.
know, do you know if the date has already been set for that event?
You know what? It was,
It
but
was.
there was no school yesterday or today, so it actually
Yeah.
might be in jeopardy this year because
Oh, because you said it's on the last day of school.
yeah, and if the company that we're using is booked with another community for the new date, so I think that's what the recreation director is working on. So I
Okay.
can find that information, but it's
Yeah.
typically, um, I want to say it was like June.
It was going to be the 23rd, I
Oh,
believe,
okay, that's what I thought.
which was already kind of late. So
Yeah.
now it might be the 25th. So
Yeah,
I
so,
think
but
that's, yeah,
we'll share that information with you when we
yeah.
know.
But yeah, that's a great idea. And
Yeah.
then even with Apple Fest in the fall too, I know we're
Mhm.
getting ahead of ourselves, but
Yeah,
and then we can always reach out to Cultural Council and Community Affairs. They do a lot of really, really neat things and are really
yeah,
good at organizing it. So if
they're
we need help
active.
with that, I know their chairs would be so, so helpful. So,
Yeah, yeah,
all right,
excellent.
Great.
good. Yeah,
Is
so
there
send,
anything else
oh,
that
sorry.
anybody wanted to add under other business?
So one of the things, just to remind everyone, March is Women's History Month. So I'm not sure if we want to deal with that as well.
Okay. Yeah,
Okay.
the state legislators had contacted us um at the end of January asking if we were doing anything for Black History Month. And I reached out to all of our departments and boards and committees, and the only thing that I could find was the senior center had done I think a movie or something. They had some kind of event. But so yeah, to know in advance what these are and what we can do to celebrate. Um, and so we had, well, March is right around the corner again.
Yeah, I know.
That's the problem. There's not enough time.
I wonder if on our agenda, if we have like a running agenda item, that every
What's
month we talk about what's going on that month
what's
for,
coming up or
yeah,
what's coming up. Yeah.
what's going on and recognize
Yeah.
the holidays or the
Hmm.
celebrations for that month. We just have a running agenda item.
Yeah. That's a good
That's a good
idea.
idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we do have a very collaborative, the recreation department, the senior center, the
Yeah.
health and human services,
Library, so
the
good.
library. Yeah, they're a great group of people and they love to do stuff for the community. So we could get them involved as well.
Good. All right, send me your ideas and then I'll draft something for our next meeting. Um, so I'm sorry, I interrupt. For
Yeah.
future meeting date, I have a question to ask you all. So I don't know if you want to, Mary Alexandra, if you want to go to public comment if everyone's done with the other business. I don't see anybody in the waiting room, so
Okay. Well, then, does anybody in the committee want to make a public comment? All right, very good. So let's move along to the next agenda item. Let's set a meeting date for our next meeting.
so
And
for
did we say March? We could do March. We're going to ask if we can not
yeah.
do April because of the budget and town meeting, and it's just very busy. But do you think we can do something for March? Angie, do you
Yeah,
feel?
oh yeah, I
Yeah.
definitely could do
Okay.
something for March if you guys don't mind. Skipping April, or we could even do two in May if you prefer. We could catch up in May. It's just with just me in the office. So hopefully also
We're going to have
sometime in
plenty of
May we'll
staff.
have a full staff as well. So
Yeah.
that'll make a huge difference too.
Yeah.
So yeah, so the fourth Tuesday in March would be the 24th.
Okay.
If you guys we could set that date if that works for everybody.
Works for me.
That works for me.
Okay.
It works for me as well.
Perfect. All right, so I'll put that on the calendar for March 24th, and then we'll skip April just with the town meeting, and then
Yep. Back on it in
I
May.
can touch base with everybody after the town meeting, and if you guys want to do two meetings in May, and if for some reason in April, if everything, I feel like everything's caught up, I can let you guys know, but if you don't mind, that'd be awesome.
We can be flexible, Angie.
Okay, okay. I feel guilty. I feel guilty.
We don't want you to leave.
Yeah. All right, excellent. Excellent.
All
Thank you.
right.
Good job. Good job,
Well,
everybody.
then,
Yeah.
if there is nothing else, I think we are all set to adjourn the meeting.
All right. I move to adjourn
Second,
at 6:39.
All right. Virginia seconded it for us. Do we have to do a roll call for adjournment?
Yes.
Okay.
Diane, instead of you calling everybody out, if you want, like with our meetings, we just say our name and, right? Do we?
Yeah, you
It
can
might
just
be
say,
quicker that way. Yeah, I'll just, Diane, yes.
Mary
Yeah.
Alexandra, yes.
Deidre writing aye.
Virginia George, yes.
Jim King, yes.
All right.
excellent. All right.
Thank
Have a
you.
good